So it turns out we might have a good use for a ridiculous amount of Deuteron fuel rods after all. So let's continue working towards that. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Dyson Sphere Program in our Alpha Andromedae series. So we, last episode, started on a rather important project that I am probably not flying toward. Yeah, it's the other direction. My bad. So we started on a rather important project, and I've been saying, you know, I have all this extra deuterium. Is it really needed for anything? Is it really, truly? Well, listen. One of the weird aspects of this particular playthrough is that I really have put off an entire section of development, which is to say, this is a game called Dyson Sphere Program, and we're just now at the beginning of this. What have we here? Hang on. Are we this short on antimatter? Anyway, that's a problem. We'll get to that in a moment. We're just now getting to the point where we're building a Dyson Sphere. And I haven't done anything with regard to the construction of rockets. And if I had, I would have remembered. Something that a commenter reminded me of, and I was like, oh my god, you beautiful person, thank you. I don't know if I actually used those words, but that's how I felt when I read the comment, because I had forgotten, because I hadn't looked at this for the entire series. I've been putting off making rockets, and it turns out all of this ridiculous amount of hydrogen that I've been like, oh, well, I'm just doing it for funsies. We don't really need it. Well, it turns out we actually need it. Yay. So, that's cool. But before we get to all that, like, I'm happy about it, don't get me wrong. I'm suddenly very concerned about the fact that we have so little antimatter here that we no longer have a backstock whatsoever of these. So, hang on. I can temporarily deal with this. It might just be that we're not producing enough. Well, no, that can't be, because we're clearly not getting the antimatter in. Alright, what I'm going to do is just pop these in here. And now this has 10 of them, and it'll run for a while. So that'll make sure power continues on this planet. But before we do anything, I think I need to visit Alrami. We need to figure out what's going on there. I mean, I don't love the idea of doing more to increase the output of Alrami, but I might have to do a little bit of rocket construction, even if the final Dyson Sphere is in Gokrux. So let's head here and see what's going on with the production of antimatter. And specifically, not even antimatter here, it's just photons. Because I'm clearly not getting a lot. And there's got to be an explanation, or maybe there's a backup somewhere, maybe I changed something without realizing it, but you can tell our research is completely locked up. And it was that way towards the end of the last episode. And I had started to become concerned. Alright, here we go. Oh, really? Am I out of warpers? Oh no. Do I have none on me? I mean, I can grab more in a moment, but it doesn't look like I have any in my inventory. Looking. Yeah, I don't see any. Wow. Okay. Well, I will grab some from this planet. Thankfully, we're close. And there will be warpers here. It's funny how quickly you burn through those without realizing it. But yeah, there's clearly an issue we need to solve here, because it's holding up not only our production of... Thankfully, we have plenty on standby, but it's holding up our production of antimatter fuel rods. That's kind of an issue. We can't have that. Hello. Hard landing. What's going on? You're all clearly receiving. What's going on? I see a ton of critical photons. What's going on? What's going on? Hello? So, Oh my goodness. Oh, that's what it is. You bastards. Okay, it's backed up on hydrogen. How much hydrogen do you produce from each of these reactions? You know what? This is a remote demand planet for hydrogen. I'm going to briefly turn it into... Hang on. I need to look at exactly how I'm handling this. Yeah, this is where we have that explains everything. Freaking hydrogen, man. I mean, we definitely need hydrogen coming in here. I can see that clearly. But we also, in a way, like, we need to be exporting we need to be getting rid of this. Okay, so I see the solution. It's temporary at best, but it'll work. We need to go ahead and, yeah, look at this. It's completely backed up. That's absurd. My mind is blown. Where should I put this? Is it possible? I'm going to go down to the South Pole real quick. Because if it's possible, if there's a slot down there that is not exporting, then I might want to actually... Yeah, see, we have warpers here. That's nice. And by the way, I need to grab some of those. Please and thanks. Alright, that problem's taken care of. So we have warpers. We have other things being brought in, all of which are necessary. I need all these things. And then we have warpers running so that we can have a full 5 slot. Okay, yeah, so there's... Let me go back up here and see if everything that's being imported here can necessarily... Like, I might be able to make some changes up here, perhaps. Alright, this is a remote supply for antimatter, which obviously it should be. It's we have remote demand for diamonds. Deuteron, hydrogen, and there were no duplicates, right? Down there I've got warpers, I've got graphene, I've got energetic graphite, I've got optical grating crystal, and what was the fourth? Or rather, what was the fifth resource? Here. That's right. The antimatter fuel rods. Which are pretty important for this planet, I guess. Power-wise. I mean, this is producing 72 megawatts. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Yeah, so... about 720 megawatts, and it definitely does need that. So, man, okay, I just need to set up a storage tower so that this can get moving again, because look at this. This has been backed up for so long. When this actually starts flowing again, we're going to have so much antimatter. It's going to be absurd. As a matter of fact, because we're going to have so much, let's go ahead and double our production of it, shall we? Man, that's frustrating. I mean, it happens. It's part of playing the game. So it's not frustrating in that respect, but unexpected, perhaps, is the better way to put it. Oh, that's perfect. All right, so let's do 3 more. And then we'll place satellite power right there. And now we have some that are outputting, but I just need this hydrogen to have a buffer. So we're just going to pick this spot right here. We're going to delete you, we're going to delete you. And we're going to go a little bit ham here. It's going to be a little, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna go a lot ham here. This is going to be a little bit goofy, but I just think it's necessary. Okay. So this right here is going to solve the problem immediately. And then what I will do is bring it out to about there and then back down. It's going to flow straight through, but now it's backed up and we are outputting antimatter once more. So that increase in production will get our research going again. And thankfully, because we have so many critical photons backed up, we're going to have a solid flow of that for a very long time. So what we need to do now is we need to head back. Now that we've got that solved, let's head back to Alpha Andromeda and let's return our focus to what I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. We are working on making supermagnetic rings, which are these, on Alpha Andromeda, and exporting them to Gacrux. We don't actually have to make them on Gacrux. We can make them on Alpha Andromeda. We're fine. But this will allow us to mass-produce deuteron fuel rods, which, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we actually have a purpose for all of this hydrogen that we are producing. And now I have even more of a reason to kind of rethink how I've got everything set up here. So I'll be heading back to Alrami before long to start exporting some of that deuteron that I'm making there, that deuterium. Okay, so here we are. Our new manufacturing facility is to be located here, and those supermagnetic rings require three things. They require energetic graphite, magnets, and electromagnetic turbines. Now, energetic graphite, I'm starting to run a little bit short here, so I think I might actually need to make a trip to Leonis Minoris, but let me take a quick look, since I didn't do this last episode, at the total status of everything over here with my energetic graphite. Alright, so this storage is completely empty, this storage is completely empty, this storage is emptying, so this is a remote supply. So we're basically burning all the energetic graphite we're making here, which is good for production in one sense. So yeah, it may be time to rethink how I've got some of my stuff set up. Alright, research is moving again. That's good to see. We've received a shipment of antimatter, and that should only continue to improve. Let's see. Where do we have antimatter coming in? Here? Yes, here. Yeah, there's already more on the way. So that's very, very good to see. Yeah, you can see the antimatter just backed up there. And we're finally producing those again. Okay, that was scary. Let's go to our lovely and overly complicated refinery world, because we need to ensure that we have a better source of energetic graphite. So we'll do a little bit of thinking about how this refinery world, which absolutely produces energetic graphite in large quantities, can be used to produce more of it without burning it. We're burning a lot of it right now, but we can change that. We can just reconfigure the way that we have the power plant set up relatively easily, because we've built the plants already, and we just have to change what's being burned. Alright, so we're approaching Leonis Minoris, and we would like to make a special visit to Leonis Minoris 2. Here we are. This soundtrack. Oh, that's interesting. So we actually have a lot more oil to burn. Well, that's one obvious opportunity right away. Let's go ahead and expand that operation a little bit. And that's just because the rest of the refinery has started working more effectively. We didn't have this much oil before. The fact that we do now is a good sign. I don't have that many thermal power plants, though. And I probably don't have what I need to make them. Damn it. All right, I can still reconfigure the ones that are here. Oh, no, I do, thankfully. I have exactly what I need to make them. So let's go ahead and order one at a time so that we can build them at least without sitting here waiting for too many. Also, it looks like copper is what's needed for the rest of this. Oh, but it needs magnetic coils, which requires raw iron. So I'm done with my ability to produce those out of hand, just right here. Okay. It's beautiful. Yeah, what I just did there was take a suggestion from someone in the comments with regard to, like, when you're copying these particular types of plants that are chained, like this, daisy chained, it's best to go with the plant at the very back of the chain because it only has the one sorter. I always assumed that if you just shift-clicked the first one in the chain, that it would kind of... Well, this one's still misbehaving a bit. Is it because I don't have sorters? No, I have sorters. Oh, it's probably just because the latitude's changing. I always assumed that it would be just sort of automatically handled by the game. Do these use different types of sorters? What's going on here? Oh, I see what it is. Hang on, maybe in this case I may be able to get away with copy-pasting the first one. Yeah, it's not going to let me keep the sorters, and it's because the sorters are set to a different length in the blueprint that's trying to be copied. It's not a literal blueprint, but we're just going to have to build these manually. I do want to kind of look out for... It seems like... Tell you what, let's build two. It's too close. Okay. There's that. All right, so in this case, what if I copy paste this one? Okay, we have to spread them out a bit, but it should... It's not daisy chaining them, oddly enough. I mean, no, it's too far apart. It should daisy chain them, but it's not doing it. Not sure why. What if we did it this way here? There we go. Yeah, so selecting the very last one in the chain when it's got the appropriate length sorter, and now it's working properly. Look at that. That's what I've been trying to do. Okay, so now we're generating a little bit of extra power from refined oil. Let's see if we can go up here and repurpose some of these plants. All of these are presently burning, let's see, energetic graphite. Let me go ahead and say that I want this for remote supply of energetic graphite. I still want energetic graphite to come here and get burned, but if this eventually dries out, that's fine. I would rather this be a remote supply planet for energetic graphite so that that resource can actually start to pile up a little bit more. And how is this looking otherwise? Yeah, hydrogen-wise, we're completely fine. Like, I think a lot of hydrogen is getting shipped off appropriately here. And in fact, it seems like maybe it might be worthwhile to shorten this just a little bit. So I set up this kind of faucet drip the last time I was here, and I can increase it by reducing the length of the sorter's trip there. We have plenty of backed up hydrogen stored here. So hopefully planets that depend on it. You know, part of me is kind of curious. What if I just... No, I set up the drip for a reason, so I'll run it. Let me shorten it by one more tile. We're going to make this a pretty fast one. There we go. Still a drip. So basically what's happening is the oil is going right back into storage. That's what's going on, just because of the way I've got this set up. So that was unintended, but what's going to happen is once this fills up, then this will be able to become more of an oil or more of a hydrogen supply planet. Have I been saying oil? I meant hydrogen. So now we're supplying this here. This is a perfect place to import that resource. So let's get that arranged. That was a fun little exit maneuver. Yeah, research is back to pretty much full speed now. And ironically, what we're researching at the moment is research speed. So when this research is done, it'll be even faster. And then we have some very exciting techs to queue up, which I won't do until we're done with this current queue. Might be... The veins utilization research is a very important piece. But again, because we are doing something that's going to speed that process up... Yes, I just shivered a little bit. Because we're doing something that's going to speed that process up, it's okay. It's not going to take too long. I think it'll actually be over pretty fast. Alright, so now let's take a look at our exact... I want to kind of follow this stuff around my home planet first and foremost. So we have our coal coming in, and this is our first line of production for energetic graphite. And then it gets stored here and sent off here. It gets sent in a couple of different directions, actually. Looks like it gets sent this direction, and not a lot happens with it. Let's see. So there's a dead end there. And there's also an additional line here where I think it's probably just feeding... Yeah, so that's feeding research. So it makes sense that those two lines dead end, and I want them to dead end. I want those lines to be flush because this is, you know, the production. This is these, you know, so that's important. Although there's an argument to be made that maybe since this is what I need them for, I still probably want to import my energetic graphite even more. But hang on. Yeah, I can do this. Okay. This will work. I'm just going to bring these over directly. I could use robots to do it too. And the benefit of that is that that would actually slow things down slightly. Yeah, let's bring you to about right here and then see if we can bring you up. Okay, we can't quite bring you up from there. What about from the previous spot? There we go. So part of me is tempted just to spaghetti this over, to tell you the truth, for old time's sake. Bots would add a little bit of their own drip. And what I mean by that is the same thing I was just using for the hydrogen on Leonis Minoris 2. So rather than having it in a constant flow, they would bring it over in batches, which might actually help me run out of this resource a little bit less quickly. But this is going to be such an important production line, I kind of just want to have it flowing as efficiently as possible, you know? So, all right, now that we're at the right height, yeah, I think I'm just going to spaghetti it over. Here's what I'll do. We're going to elevate you here. We'll stop here. And I think we can come straight... Yep, here we go. This is our This is our opportunity. We still need to import it somewhere. Haven't forgotten that. Yeah, this is honestly perfect. Then we'll bring this here. And we might have some additional opportunities for this. So let me stop for just a moment. We're going to take another look at what we have here. So this is a remote supply. That's weird. So I just have high purity silicon being supplied here. Even though it's being... Why is it set to remote supply, though? Why? It's local demand, so it's being brought in from other sources. But it's being used to supply abroad, and I very much doubt it's actually being used for that. I kind of want to delete this so that I can have this as a place to import more energetic graphite to the production line here. Let's see how we do just using the resources of our current planet to start, okay? Let's just do that. So, moment of truth has finally arrived. Let's go ahead and start. Oh, hello. Can't chain them that closely, fair enough. Let's build just one, how about that? And I will go ahead and bring this down to ground level. And then we'll have it loop back this way. Now you will pull this and that and that in order to make that. And then you will... I've already got this set up to export, I believe. So let's just run the line over, get it done. Let's make this as long as I can. I might trim it just a bit in a moment, but for now I'm okay with this. It does seem like not all of our goods are proliferated, which makes me sad. We might need to get our proliferation going in just a moment. All right, let's spread things out slightly. Yeah, there we go. So 8, exactly. That's not bad. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Did I move the wrong line? Did I move the... What the heck? I did. I moved the wrong line. And I don't think anyone caught it. Or just maybe no one backseated, which I appreciate. So... that explains a few things. Well... Let's make sure I have room in my inventory here, because this is going to be a lot of computer chips. Let's fix this real fast. Yeah, when I was picking out the line to move, I think I just ended up taking this too far. So, hang on. Where is this used, if anywhere? Nowhere, really. So, what I can do here... I don't think I need to actually completely delete this line. Let me... First of all, they are needed there. Yeah, I just completely missed it. Okay. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to stand over here for a brief moment and do a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to... Hello. We're going to delete these lines as planned. I'm just going to drain this dry. I'm going to take all these circuit boards. Actually, come to think of it, someone did point it out. I just didn't understand the comment because they said it rather shorthand and I didn't understand what exactly they were pointing out. But now I do. Well played. So, basically when I was trying to find a point at which to, you know, transplant these resources, I didn't realize that I was looking at the wrong ones. So, this will be actually pretty easy. Delete. Let's get our conveyor belts back. Yeah, I came over here and I was trying to find a way to make these resources kind of... I was trying to find a way to make the spaghetti work, essentially. And I didn't realize that I must have gotten distracted talking about something else, and I started setting up circuit boards, not turbines. But we found it, and now, check this out, all I have to do is connect directly right here, and problem solved. We can just use most of the line that I've already built, and that line should come roaring to life. And now we are exporting these off-world for the first time. It's possible... Hang on, how many am I making? I do need to... See, now everything is actually... One added benefit of that is that everything is proliferated. So we're making extra products the way that we were supposed to in the first place. So now what we need to do is head to Gacrux. But first, before I do that, I'm going to go back to Alrami. The research that I've been trying to get going again is almost done. Let me go back to Alrami and take a look at that deuterium operation that I have there. Oh, as I warp straight into Alpha Andromeda 1. I was kind of hoping to warp like over the top of it. Honestly, that's why I went for that. But no such luck. Oh well. Let's get going. Because I think I have deuterium set up to import here right now, and I think it's probably time to go ahead and export it. But if it's already set to export, then we're golden. I just want to make sure. That's one thing about Dyson Sphere Program that I hope that they add in the final version of the game is currently there's no interface built into the game. There's an interface for production. There's not really an interface. I mean, you can mark this. You can mark resources this way. So you can like have notation, like what does 1 star mean? What does 2 star mean? What does 3 star mean? But at the end of the day, there's no way, there's no detailed tracking of what is being imported and exported from each system at a glance. What is being imported and exported, period. There's just nothing tracking it. We went to the wrong pole. Other pole. Wrong one. Let's go up here. And then I need to go ahead and stop this episode, don't I? So we'll solve this, and then we'll go to Gacrux at the beginning of the next one. So let's see here. Deuterium completely full. Yeah, it's currently set to a remote demand world. We're going to change that right now. This is going to be a remote supply world, and we're going to start importing it from other places. So with that in mind, we currently have deuterium flowing. Let's see. Here, I'm just going to follow this ring for a moment. Comes all the way around, and it's used to produce these, which I don't need it as much for that anymore because we're so backed up on those. So, tell you what, I have these massive storage cases here of deuterium, which feed into that. This is honestly more deuterium than is stored in the Interstellar Logistics Station. So, I still want this to offload there, but now I kind of want I want another feed. You know what? Best way to do it is just to have this feed here going back. So that's what we'll do. It's going almost all the way around anyway, so let's just bring it all the way around, because this is the end of the line. And there may even be a slot that I can use. It doesn't look like there is. So what I'll do is I'll come to about here. Beautiful. All right, now, we actually have plenty of deuterium here already because it was set as a remote demand world, but this will allow it to start offloading. It will cause an increase in power consumption here, but now, the handy thing about, look at that, research speed level 4, so you can already see we're cruising through veins utilization pretty quickly. I'll queue up some new research as soon as that's done, but as I was about to say, let me point this out real quick before I wrap up. We need to build lots and lots, well, of small carrier rockets, but the small carrier rockets require lots of deuteron fuel rods. And deuteron fuel rods require the resource that I've already set up to be made on Gacrux, and then the resource that I just set up to be imported from Alpha Andromeda, and now lots of deuterium, which is now being exported properly from this planet in a way that probably won't affect the production processes of this world at all. Good progress, and we can really begin in earnest in Gacrux in the next episode or two. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time, or even your second, look for the join button to access unique emotes, badges, and other perks. New episodes are coming out every day at noon, US Eastern Time, and comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.